Right, here we are at the first job. We've got ourselves a watcher right in front of the appliance we need to work at. So just going to try and move the cat out the way and then get to work. Come on. Right, an ideal exclusive. So this is just a standard gas safety. So yeah, we're just going to have a visual inspection, do our usual 26.9 checks. Right, just in case you haven't worked on one of these ideal exclusives before, normally with the ideals you've got the screws underneath, but on this one you just got to pop that flap open and you've got two screws there, so that will allow you to take that down and then you can lift the front cover off of it. Right, so once you take those two screws out, you'll have another two screws here. Removes that. They've got a couple of carbon monoxide alarms here, so probably some of them have expired or something. That's that glass dropper bottle that's not filled with the boiler. So now, yep, that just lifts off, and I'm so glad that this sump hasn't split, because to do this one, because you've got that separation on the combustion chamber, you literally have to take the main heat exchanger out. There's no way you can break that sump off like how you can do in the standard Logics, because look, there's no room underneath it. So first thing I always check on the ideals, is the sump gone? No, it's not. Happy days. So now I can carry on with my usual 26.9 checks. So just drain the boiler out. Again, I'm not a fan of the drain of some of the ideal, but I find that a washing machine hose with one end cut off fits quite snug onto the drain off, but it still tends to drip the water over it, so a little plumb tub or something underneath it. So once that's finished draining, vessel charge 0.33, so let's pump that up. Should get a little bit more coming out of there. Just get rid of any water in that vessel. That's that done. So, how many of you guys come across this? Yep. Let's get the right fuse in there. Alright. There we go. Pressure's back on. Let's just get the heating on. There we go. Call for heat. I'll start get my analyzer purged out. I'll start gas rating it in the meantime, etc. Right, here we are at the next one. So we've got a leak on the diverter valve, and there was a drip coming from it when I came in. You can see it's all wet down there. It's all dripped into that tray. So I'm going to change that. I'm going to change the AAV, recharge the vessel. Boiler's already been drained down. It's showing 0.1 bar. So probably just give the pressure sensor a bit of a clean. That doesn't need replacing, and then gonna whip the burner out and give it a full service. So yeah, let's crack on. Right, we're purging now, so vessel's been charged, diverter valve's been changed. Yeah, that's probably the most amount of water I've ever had come out whenever I've done a diverter valve change. Never really had that much come out before. But yeah, that's all swapped over, that's done. New AAV's in, so now just gonna purge it, and then while it's purging, I'll start cleaning out the main heat exchanger and everything. Luckily, the board didn't get fried. Yeah, it was strange. Had the AAV out as well, but yeah, still, as soon as I took the diverter out, it just must be a lot of water stuck behind there somewhere. And you can see where this was leaking from. It always tends to go from that spindle. Try and get a bit of light on it. There. Apparently, it's because either the system's not been cleaned properly or there's too much cleaner in the system, I've been told. But yeah, that's quite a common problem. I know you can get the inner kits for it, but me personally, I've never used one of them before. I've always just changed the whole valve. But I know you can get the kits to just change the cartridges inside. But yeah, if anyone's had experience of that, a good experience, bad experience, whatever kind of experience, drop a comment below. So electrodes are in good nick, just give them a bit of a clean up, change the gasket, pop those back in, and then I'll take the burner out. Alright, let's get the burner out and see how it looks. Need to get that. So it gets a bit tangled here. It's because it's got the hard pipe copper. There's the inside of the main heat exchanger. Not terrible, but yeah, a bit of a scrub up. That should be good. I've got a new G10 seal to go into there as well. That's all set up there. Right, there we go. Just had a bit of a clean up. Just looking better than where it was before. And now you just got to put the copper grease on there, change the G10 seal, get that back in, clean the contents out, and then start doing 26/9s. Here we are at the next one. So I've got a CDI compact. This one is annoying to do. This, well, firstly you've got those green clips that everyone keeps breaking. I've not had one break on me, touch wood, so far. Yeah, this one, I've done another video on it which I need to upload still, where I've basically just done a full strip service on it, so I'll upload that later. This is just going to be like sort of snippets of what I'm doing because it's a ball ache to do. One good thing is, gas meter is literally right there, so tightness test has just finished. We're at 20 millibar. So yeah, just gonna get the case off and get cracking on this. So, the first thing I've got to do on this is pop this silencer up there. Alright, silencer's up. We've got 2 screws to undo on the sump. That will then lift that up. You can swing it out, disconnect that. You've got a screw, got to get to that one, and there's one at the back there as well for the fan. You've got to undo this little nut there. That'll take the gas tube off. What else is there? Then you've got obviously these 13mm, 10 or 13mm ring span will go on there. So you've got 2 at the front, 2 at the back, and that'll disconnect that. So I've taken those 2 screws out, and then this just pops up like that. That swings out and down. So that's basically like a flue collector. So now we've got to change the gasket that's in there. Now from here I can get to that screw there by turning this left and right. You've got to do a lot of fiddling about with this. Do that and get the fan and the gas valve off first. Right, if you can't get a posi onto that, 7mm socket also goes onto there. It's just awkward because it's at an angle. You want to make sure you don't round the head. I think that's turning now. So if you're looking at it, it's literally coming in from the side. There we go, that's turning. And there was one there as well which has been removed. So I'll get this out and then the fan should just pop out. Right, so both screws are out. And now that, oh, too much. It's a bit fiddly still, but I just want to make sure I don't damage that gas tube. There we go. Right, that's still intact. Looks like something out of Predator when they pulled the spine out. Right, so now it's just these captive little lugs. Take all 4 of them out and then get these bolts off so we can get the burner out. Change the burner seal, keep the heat exchanger clean. That's putting a bit of stress in there, so I think we're gonna disconnect that so I've got a bit more space there. Get that out of there. There we go. Right, so those out. Now I should be able to get a 10 or 13 mil. I think. I think it's 10. Yeah, 10. Right, so let me get these undone and get the burner out. Right, so I've got the burner nuts out, so the front 2 come out with the captive bolts. The back 2, the bolts will stay, the little studs stay in position. So I just take them off completely and then it's just a case of trying to maneuver it out. I always struggle getting these out because, oh, that one came out pretty easily. Happy days. And it came out with the burner skin still on there. And that's, I think they've been using it, so it's a bit hot. Right, so I'm gonna remember the orientation of that, so that was face down. And then that's not too bad. It's not too hot. Inside, it's not too dirty. Give it a little brush as best as we can. Change those electrodes as well. And this as well, just got to make sure that the numbers on there are facing towards you when you pop it back in as well. We'll put that upside down for now. Get this all cleaned out. Forgot what ball lick is to get the electrodes out as well. So you've got that much space there. You've got a 10mm nut above and below it. You've hardly got any room to pull these leads off. So if they're seized on, which they normally are, you're gonna struggle. So I'm gonna try and take it off the bracket first and then try and pull the leads off that way. I remember now why this part's so annoying, because with the leads on, you can't get the electrodes out because they're too long. So I need to get the leads off before I can actually get them out. I've tried wiggling them, but they're literally getting caught in there still. Yeah, we have to try and get the leads off. Right, so I finally got the old ones out, and when replacing it, you've also got to make sure you replace this seal. It's no wonder why people cuss Worcesters so much, because look how difficult they've made it just to do something like a service one of the boilers. So I've got to try and feed them in and make sure that that oval seal doesn't pop out of place as well. It shouldn't do, but it's a Worcester, so you never know. Yeah, finally got the leads off. Ended up having to split that. Otherwise, they just weren't coming off. So let me put that back together. Just got to wash that through with a bit of water now. Right, so that's most of it back together. Just got to do the sump seal now. So this one, you need to make sure you actually read the instruction on this. So when you get the new sump seal, it's got this little indent on it. So let's find a new one. There you go. So you got the little indent, which is a split. I think that's just the joining where it joins together. That needs to be at the front. So when you're looking at it like this, I think this will stand up. But basically that split needs to be at the front there. So yeah, right there in the middle. Okay, so I'm just going to grease this up, pop it all back together, and just got to then do the usual stuff, drain it out, recharge the vessel, and complete my 26.9 checks, which shouldn't be too bad because we've got the meter right here. Hopefully all's good. But yeah, I've got the full video that I need to upload, but this is just to show you how much of a ball ache this boiler is to work on. The coolest thing about this last service, I'd say, is this retro lift. Let's get this off. Hello, hello, hello. Alright, let me pop this stuff down. Do it in the right order. Shut that. Shut that. Right, it worked on the way up. Oh, and it works on the way down. Happy days.